This is Yim, and you're tuning into Cool Story Bro. This podcast is brought to you by Showroom Skate, your one-stop shop for all things related to skate. Link in the description below. Welcome back to another episode of Cool Story Bro. Today, I have Joshua Desmond.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, so he crashed my podcast, and then we have a very special guest today, which is VRP, Vinoth. What does the RP stands for?
Raj Pillai, bro.
Raj what?
Raj Pillai.
Pillai.
Yeah.
Raj Pillai. Wow, like so Dutch, what a name.
What?
Like, don't sound Indian at all.
It's a very typical Indian name.
Really?
P-I-L-L-A-I.
Oh, it sounds like a foreign name like that. Clearly, I don't have a lot of Indian friends.
I'll take that.
But yes, a fun fact. So last time around, a photographer came. This was the exact same setup. So
It's just now it's a couple Indian.
yeah, now it's both Indian lah. That time it's one like fake Malayu and Malayu lah. Now we got two Indians. So welcome to the podcast.
Bloody racist flesh.
Hey,
wait.
we don't all one Malaysia here, one okay. We don't racist one. So yeah, man. So thanks for coming. Maybe you can introduce yourself.
I'm trying to adjust the seat. Okay. Alright. Okay. Perfect.
Right. So maybe you can introduce yourself to those who don't know who you are.
You know
and
you're
what
on
you do.
video, right? So people
Yeah,
see you
right.
adjusting the seat.
Yeah.
It's all planned. Me
Okay.
being myself.
Right. So let us know. What is it that you do for those who don't know? Maybe you can explain to us just a little bit of what you do.
Alright. So I'm a wedding photographer.
Right.
I've been in the industry for say 5 years full time. I've been doing this part time. Together with the 5 years is about total in 2009 about 11 years I say. So I've been this for some time now. I also shot Josh's wedding.
Yeah.
Hello Josh.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, so for those who don't know how I met VRP is he photographed my wedding. Yeah. So
he was so cocky about it. He talks about it all the time.
Oh,
He's
serious?
like,
yeah, because the pictures are dope.
who knows what? VIP, them hard to get him. Or you
Nowadays,
or you friends, easy.
I like how my clients market for me. Thanks Josh.
I mean, that's how like photographers kind of get word out, right? In a way, lah. Like, especially for wedding photographers, usually it's word of mouth and also from your work, lah.
Yeah.
Right? Because people will usually, he will recommend it to his friends and.
Correct.
whatever.
So that's where I'd say I do most of my marketing, like
Word of mouth.
word of mouth. That's where I get my businesses from, and I make sure that the moment I meet, starting from the meeting, like how I met them, and that's when I start being myself, introducing myself, and then from there at the weddings, like how I behave, how I am in front of them, and how it's until the end, till my delivery, how I deliver the photos. All that matters because that's when word of mouth comes to play. I feel so.
Yeah, I think that's how we met.
Correct.
Like exactly that way. Like
Correct.
we had a different photographer. Those guys couldn't make it, and you were suggested by the 30 Grit boys.
Yep.
Yeah. So then we met in Bangsa. He. I think you always do that, right? You like to meet your subjects first.
I
right?
meet my clients every single time.
So you meet ready to decide whether you want to take the job or you meet to like just to get to know them better.
No. I meet them so that they don't. After meeting me, they don't run away, lah.
Oh.
No, actually, I meet them mainly because to break the ice.
Yeah.
Friend.
I'm talking. I meet them actually to break the ice, for them to actually know Vinoth first before knowing their photographer per se.
Yeah.
And then so that once on the wedding day, like not only will they are friends with me, and once they allow me into their circle, then their family tends to do that. So it becomes easy. I kind of like become part of that wedding instead of a vendor for the wedding. So that also, again, going back to the marketing side of it, that's how it helps with my marketing side. Like.
Oh, so basically, I mean, it's true actually, because even for me, if let's say a photographer that I don't know try to photograph me, I'll be very awkward lah.
Yeah.
Right. So it's easier to, especially for wedding pictures, it's really like the kind of emotion, the raw stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of actually.
So that I noticed that like so after my wedding we sort of like we became friends after that. Like it wasn't just a client photographer relationship.
No.
Does that happen with a lot of your clients?
Yes, it does. I still keep in touch with lots of my clients. Mainly because not only am I investing my time, I'm also investing myself emotionally with you, and I kind of get to understand you on a deeper scale. So, and most of, I've told you this when we met, like most of my clients are mental and in a good way, and I like that because that's how we click. And once we click, that's it. It's most of the time, it's like half of the time it's becoming like we are friends. Like every time we go out and meet and stuff like that. yeah, that's how I don't know. Maybe it's this emotional thing that I trigger.
Yeah.
Like I invest not only my time, my emotions, and once I get to know them on a deeper level, it goes like, oh, this feels nice.
Does it help like with your pictures though? Like if let's say if you shoot a person that you never really connected with, compared to shooting someone that you've already established a relationship with.
Oh yes.
So so for you personally, the pictures will come out really different, lah. Like
Yes, it does. So say I've never met. Just take Josh as an example. Josh on camera.
Yeah.
So
Always.
So take Josh example. So when I met Josh, I started talking to him. I started talking to his wife now, Andrea, and then I started seeing things that triggered them, things that they like. So like I found out that I think I wore a Star Wars t-shirt when I met Josh, and from there Josh was like, hey, you know what, I'm like a Star Wars fan, stuff like that. And then that kind of give you a bit of a like a backstory per se. So on shoot day, you tend to pull out these points and use that as triggers.
Yep.
And then from there I get like, okay, so this guy likes Star Wars, and as so happens I was a huge Darth Vader at his wedding. So I know like if I can get say his nephew or niece interacting with that Vader, it will bring some sort of meaning to that figurine over there.
Yeah.
So I got a photo of that. That. And then and how I got Josh and Andrea to react in terms of like when we're doing the couple session, like I knew some trigger points to press, and I was like, Josh, and then Andrea starts going ha 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 ha, and you know that's like a photo itself. So yeah.
Oh, how would you rate the shoot with him?
Pardon?
How would you rate the shoot with him?
Oh, it was easy.
It was easy.
It was easy. It was easy. I'd say it was easy. It was
Easy, a good thing or like a bad thing?
a good thing.
A good thing.
A good thing. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So you mainly photograph weddings, lah.
Mainly weddings.
So but
Mainly weddings.
is it only on the day when you get like you shoot the pre-wedding photos?
Oh yeah, I do. Okay, so when I say I only shoot weddings, meaning I do post weddings also sometimes, and engagement shoots.
What is a post-wedding?
Yeah, so some couples say they're like Vinoth, we didn't have time to do the pre-wedding.
Okay.
So we don't have photos of our like us in our wedding attire or some cases like that. Then they were like, let's do a post-wedding shoot. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And then I have clients who came back to me and said, hey, Vinoth, like guess what? The bride has a baby bump, you know, so let's do a maternity shoot. So I do that. And yeah, I do portraits as well. So I wouldn't say just weddings, like portraits, weddings, and the whole scale of it.
Yeah, so those of you listening, I think it was last year, right? So one of Vinoth's pictures got selected as a top 50 engagement photos in the world.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's in the wedding engagement.
Yeah,
thing,
that picture. There was one picture he took of an engagement. It became top 50 in the world.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
You want to tell us a bit more about that?
Oh yeah. So this is by June Bugs Wedding. So this is like they are like a wedding blog. I think if I'm not wrong, they are based in US. I might be wrong, but let me just check on that. So this blog on a yearly basis they put up this contest per se. They've got top 50 wedding photos, top 50 engagement photos, top 50 elopement photos, destination wedding photos and stuff like that. So I thought I was they do have
they call
elopement.
it
Yeah,
elopement
they've
photos.
got elopement
Wow,
as well.
interesting.
Yeah. So then I thought, okay, let's just give it a try. Like and the funny thing is going to go to a bit of a backstory. So a friend of mine, say 3 or 4 years ago before that, sent me a link like, check this link out. There were photos from all around the world. And then this friend of mine, Fuji, I said like, one day I'm going to be on the list. I told her this. I was like, you know what? One day I'm going to be on the list. I don't know when, but I will be on the list, right? And then fast forward, last year or the year before, I felt like my work had finally my work has some substance. So then I'm like, okay, let's just submit. I tried submitting, and I picked a total of, I think, 30 photos. And out of the 30, and the funny thing is, and I kind of like listed all the photos, like my top favorite to the least favorite and stuff like that, out of the 30 of the ones that I loved the most. And this photo was almost in the middle, like, and it got picked by the judges. And then from there, like, and then, and that being said, disclaimer, I was not the only Malaysian to get it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's this other chap, I think I told you this, there's this other guy, Louis Gunn. The problem was, so in that list, I shot my photo in KL, where else Louis shot it in China. So when they presented the photo, they said Vinoth Raj Pillai, KL, and then Louis, China.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So that bit.
So they were assuming that he's from China, or they just mentioned the location lah.
They just mentioned the location lah. They didn't assume. They know who the photographers are, where they're from, but perhaps he didn't get that much of coverage because
that's it, China.
So
okay lah. Now you give him coverage here.
Oh yeah, I've been.
Or maybe he got coverage in China. And now he's big there. You never know.
Exactly. Hello, Louis.
But what you usually, like, for pre-weddings, right? Some couples, they prefer to shoot like out of Malaysia, right? So you take jobs like that as well.
Yeah, man.
So they will fly you out to like a fanciest country as well.
Yeah. I've been to New Zealand, Iceland, and Ladakh. I think Ladakh being the craziest one.
Crazy how?
Because
where's Ladakh?
See, exactly. So Ladakh is in India.
Oh, okay.
So I met these clients, and then they were like, let's shoot somewhere new. Then I'm like, I asked them to suggest a place, and they're like, no, you suggest. And they gave me a criteria where it shouldn't, the flight, the distance shouldn't be 8 hours flight away from KL. So then I started Googling, started drawing maps and radius, and I'm like, okay, let's see, Vinoth, where have you not gone before? Then I saw Ladakh. I'm like, okay, this looks nice. I like this mountainous area and stuff like that. And I suggested this to them. They were like, yeah, okay, let's do this. And then we flew in there, not doing any background check, okay? So Ladakh is, if I'm not wrong, is about 11,000, elevated by 11,000 feet.
Yep.
So the moment, say we're here, we fly and then we land here.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So dragging my bag from the airport into the taxi felt like I was running a marathon because of altitude sickness.
But I'm just looking at the pictures online, right? The place looks insane.
It's insane, bro.
Fucking beautiful.
It is. It's also the place where they shot Three Idiots, the movie.
Okay.
Sort of mountainous scenes from there. Like, hey, that's a good movie, man. That's a good movie.
It is.
Yeah, Yim loves Three
man,
Idiots.
3 Idiots is a fucking good movie.
I think it's an amazing movie. So that was my inspiration. Like I've seen this scene in this movie, and I'm like, okay, I probably want to shoot that one day. And that's how we ended up in Ladakh. And not knowing there's this thing called altitude sickness. So the first 2 days, oh my.
Were you guys puking?
No, man, but the headache was just insane. And we were there for, I think, about 5 or 6 days. And even when we reached at the hotel, the receptionist said to us, guys, just rest. Don't go out.
Yeah.
You need this one whole day to just rest. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing anything. We just lie down, we slept. The next day we woke up thinking we felt fine. So funny thing is, the hotel is that it's at the lowest point of the place.
Yeah.
So when we started going to these mountainous areas and all, we had to like drive, and then as we're going up, and then the head starts, aching again, and I had to shoot in that scenario. So yeah, like the groom was fine. He's amazing. I don't know how he handled it, but me and the bride, we were like, we can do this.
Oh, but they weren't like at all annoyed because like you picked the place where you gave them.
No. I came clean. I'm like, guys, look, I didn't know about this. They were like, no, it's okay. Let's just do it. We are here already. Because that's why I said, like, I remember I said my clients are mental. Yeah. This is exactly.
So typically, like a destination shoot like that, your clients will cover your accommodation, flights, everything.
Yep.
Okay.
So I have like a base price, and then plus my allowance and plus my accommodation and meals.
What's the duration like? Averagely, like destination shoots, like do you all go for a long period of time?
Most of the times it's minimum 4 nights. Minimum, because you don't know how the weather is like sometimes. So there's always one spare day. So let's say you shoot for a day or two, and then there's always that one spare day in case anything, say it rains the day before.
Like a safety day.
Like a safety day. Also party day.
So assuming if you didn't, it's not a destination shoot, it's a local KL shoot. How do you usually pick your locations, or do you have go-to locations, favorite locations within KL? Or
okay, my favorite location within KL will be Frim.
Okay.
I've shot there a zillion times, and every single time the feel and the kind of output has been different. And also, going back to your question, when I'll get the clients to suggest sometimes, like based on, remember I said how I asked them, and if they start telling me the story, say suddenly, there was this one shoot, this is 4 years ago, the couple said they actually met in an LRT station.
Mm-hmm.
So we used that as a
nice.
shooting location,
Nice.
and that brought some meaning to them.
Okay.
So yeah, it all depends, like
Dope.
based on our conversations.
It seems like all your clients are really nice people. I mean, obviously they're nice lah, right? They pay you. So.
Yeah, definitely.
but then, has there ever been like a shoot where, you're just like, man, I should not taken this job. This is like,
Time
Yeah,
to call clients out.
No, I had this at the very beginning of my career, like very, very beginning of my career, like say in 2009 or 10. Like that time I didn't know what was my expectation.
yeah.
I didn't know how to handle my client's expectation. So things didn't turn out the way I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, that was a learning curve. Like that, from that episode, I realized, okay, so now this is where I need to tweak myself, and also make sure that once I've tweaked myself, I need to make sure that I've managed the expectations. Like I tell them, this is what I deliver, this is who I am, this is what you see. And also at the very beginning of any photographer's career, he doesn't have a solid portfolio. Yeah, they don't understand his style. So they will expect this newbie to deliver something that they have in their head.
Yep.
So yeah, over time that changed, and now I've got no issues with clients as such.
So it's more of like, in the way, basically, in the beginning where those kind of things happen, you attribute it to more of you not being experienced yet.
Yes.
So it's not the client that's bad.
No.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's not that.
But just going back to your point, so like, if you were a photographer who's just starting up and a client approaches you, right, without a portfolio, so how do you actually convince someone to take you on? Like, what prompted them to hire you in the first place if they couldn't see a portfolio?
So that's where my price point came to play.
Okay.
So I went in really low. And then what I used to do is I will shoot. This is the ratio that I used to go through. Like, okay, I'll shoot 90% of the things that my client wants, and 10% for myself.
Okay.
And that 10% was my portfolio, and
Right.
that 10% is the one that went into my social media accounts and started building the market that I wanted.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, wedding photographers, right, at least today, they're quite hardcore. So, like this Chinese one, usually the weddings that I've been to, the Chinese photographers or videographers, because Chinese are morning games, right? So morning they'll come and shoot videos, take pictures. By like midday, maybe like 3 o'clock, let's say you start in the morning, 3 o'clock you get the video already. Like, I don't know what is it that they do, but their formula of like the whole, getting shit out by the time you have a dinner party is quite crazy. So, like, have you ever attempted stuff like that before?
Yeah, I actually have in the very beginning. I mean, in the mid level of my career, like I've tried that. What we do is we will shoot the wedding, and then photos, especially I'll shoot the photos, and then I'll have this bunch of photos in my head, and then client will like, you know what, we need the same day edit to be played for the reception. And then I'm like, okay, can I'll go and prepare it, and I'll sit down, and then I'll prepare a slideshow, and by the time I'm done finishing with the slideshow, I will technically need to be ready to shoot the reception. At first it was, this is probably my marketing game, like everyone at the reception is going to see how my work is going to be. Then I realized my creative juice started dwindling down. Like I started running out of creative juice, mainly because I was tired. So when I'm shooting the reception, I'm just like blah, and then came the question which I had to answer myself, like, do I want to deliver quality work, or do I want to deliver half-cooked work? And then right now I stopped doing same-day edits. Sometimes I do deliver same-day edits, like, for example, not same-day edits, but if, say, the wedding is today, reception is tomorrow, then I do it.
Yep.
Because it gives me time to just rest and relax.
Yep.
If it's the same day, I tell my clients no lah. And also because the way I shoot is very personal to each client.
Yep.
So I don't have a template in my head.
right? The template,
Yeah,
yes.
the template in my head. So I cannot like, okay, so this shot is going to go here. I have to sit. I have to. So what I actually do is, remember I said like, again, I meet my clients, I talk to them, and even at the wedding, I'm very attentive. I'm like looking at, say, the type of songs that they're walking into, things like that, and I will figure that, okay, so this, like for Josh's, I did a clip for Josh,
Yeah.
and I actually bugged him like, Josh, I want that song that you walked into, and Josh,
So I composed my match in, so he wanted to use that track for the slideshow.
Yeah, because that is more meaningful than me putting Backstreet Boys or something, right? Yeah.
I wouldn't have mind.
Yeah, I know. So then, I there's a lot of thought process going into the slideshows as well. So, and that's why I need the time. So nowadays, what I do is like, okay, so this is what happened. So there's this one wedding in Bali that I shot. These couples, friends, came over from UK, and then they played a song. I can't. Ben Ivers, I think.
Bon
Ivers, right? And the couple loved the song, and and I loved the rendition of, how the couple's friends played, right? So what I did, I went to the videographer, and I'm like, on that wedding day, I'm like, hey, I need to prepare a slideshow, and I need that clip, and I bugged the videographer for days.
So it wasn't it was basically you guys are not working together,
We're not working together, but we are friends.
Yeah.
So I bugged him for days. I need it because I shot the wedding in Bali, and I needed to prepare the slideshow in KL. So I bugged him for good like a couple of days, and then he's like, here you go, and then I played it, and then they were like, wow, So small things like that matters, and I think by trying to chase the whole, I need to deliver this the same day, I won't be able to deliver the stuff that I'm delivering now. It's very personal.
Yep.
That's how I see it. Yeah.
Cool. So so you've been doing this for 11 years already. Did you already start, because you're married, so at the point of your marriage, were you already a photographer?
Yeah, well played. Well played. So going back to my career, I started off as I was actually an engineer before this.
Why is all the photographers engineers?
Shafiq Anak Saleh
Shafiq Anak Saleh also an engineer.
Oh,
before.
serious?
That's why I want to know, like, does engineering make you a better photographer? Do you guys understand things differently, or see how things work differently, or how?
I think it starts off with the whole gear acquisition syndrome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay,
engineers
starts like that,
engineers and their love for gears. So then you get your first camera, and then wow, next lens and next body, I don't know. So that's how it starts, I guess, and then from there it developed into like a art form that we love.
Yeah.
So how I got into photography is because before I started going to my career stuff, how I got into photography is I used to draw a lot. Like I used to draw black and white comics and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
This is new to me.
yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Some
used
friend you are.
that's why.
But I know he's a huge nerd lah. Like he
Yeah,
likes
comics.
and.
So I used to draw Marvel
figures and-
comics. I used to draw stuff like that, and then it was all black and white, and things like your tattoo and stuff. Then I realized I cannot paint
Right.
for nuts. Like my dad once asked me to paint the room. I did. He came back. He was like, "What the hell is this?
Uneven.
Uneven, bro." Because I don't have the patience. You know,
Yeah.
like how in your coloring book you have to go stroke by stroke.
Yeah.
I cannot. I go all of the places, right? So then in school I used to scribble everywhere, and then I used to do all that, and then got into uni. I somehow got my hands on a camera, and then I started taking photos, and I'm like, wait a minute, and now I don't have to paint. Colors are all there. Like, hello. And then I learned Photoshop, and then I started manipulating them, playing around with them. So yeah. And then going back to the career part of it, like I've always had this creative side in me, I wanted to go into graphic designing, but being the boy born in an Indian family, Indian family thing, my dad was like, you have to be an engineer, this is the way. And I'm like, fine. And I was lost. I didn't know what I was going to do. I mean, some of my friends had like their vision and stuff like that. I didn't have anything. So I said, okay, fine, you know what? I'm just going to give this a go. Went to uni, got into engineering. Good Lord. I scraped through, okay? I scraped through, just passed, literally. Came out of it. And I took some photos, and then realized, I can play with colors and stuff like that. And then I got my first job in Penang in Motorola as a R&D engineer. and then lost the job because of recession, then came back to KL and started all over again, got into project management. And through project management, while I was doing project management, then a cousin brother of mine approached me. He was like, hey, you do photography on the side? I'm like, yeah, okay, do you want a second shoot for me? I'm like, okay, fine, I'll give it a go. Started giving that a go, and then that's when it started picking up. Like, I started doing weddings, but I was very picky and choosy. I'll just do probably one wedding a year or one wedding in 2 months or something like that over time. Then, and also because I was scared and shy. Yeah. Right? So then there's one fine day, then my cousin brother just pushed me into the fire, and he was like, you know what, I won't be able to come for the wedding. This was a birthday party. You have to shoot this by yourself. And that's when it started lah. And then also going back to the project management side of things, when I was doing project management, I started realizing how effectively I can run my business per se, and how to manage my own time. From there, I started also realizing, like, if I were to properly utilize my time, I can make money for myself. And that's how slowly, as I was learning project management on the side, after 7 or 8 years, that's it. I'm calling it quits. But yeah, going back to the question you asked me whether my wife knew about it or not, so I was still doing weddings, and then we got married. And I used to be this grumpy husband. I hated going to work, getting stuck in traffic and stuff like that. And Kim she looks at me like, why don't you just quit? So there's this one trip that Kim and I and a couple of friends, Jens and Nadia, we went to Germany. And while traveling in Germany, Nadia is an MC. Right? She was like, you have to quit. Your photos are good. Quit. She started incepting this idea into my head. And then, end of that month, coming back from the trip, I told Kim I'm going to quit. I said, I'm doing it. 31st of July, I'm resigning. But then there was whispers in the company saying that bonus is coming in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's wait it out.
Yeah, I thought I'll wait it out. So I said, bonus might coming in end of August, so I'll just wait, all right? End of August, nothing happened.
Oh, shit.
Then I told Kim about it. She was like, and then she said this line, is this the man I got married to? 2nd of September, I tendered my resignation. So and then never.
So in a way, Nadia had a hand in pushing you.
This Nadia is what? Nadia Heng.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know. You've known her quite a while or so.
So Nadia is Kim's best friend.
Oh. Okay. Wow. Okay, interesting.
Oh, small world.
So the reason I asked is because being a wedding photographer, during your wedding, I'm sure you had photos taken and all that. So how I'm sure you didn't take the pictures because you were getting married, right?
Well, you put a tripod.
I kind of took my own pre-wedding photos.
Oh, okay.
Because I couldn't find someone who could take like me.
Oh.
Back then.
Yeah, so that's why I was asking, like, so if your wedding, you can't do your own.
Yeah.
How was it like? How was it accepting someone else taking the pictures for you when you have a certain expectation or certain idea of how it should look?
So this is the thing. When I was getting married, my vision and my look and feel and aesthetics were different.
Okay.
So I kind of just accepted with what I had in mind that time. But now if you ask me, I would have had totally someone else.
So if you look back at it now, you'll be like...
Yeah, I'm like, Same man, when you're looking at your as a creative, when you look back at your old work, you go like, ugh.
Yeah, man. But then when you started photography like were you already like, you had like people that you were like following, that you were like really just looking at aesthetics you're learning from?
Oh yeah, I did. So I had this Malaysian photographer, Anna Rena.
I feel bad now because I don't know.
Yeah, I think I've heard.
She's amazing. Like I was looking at her work and I'm like, whoa, what is this woman doing? Her works were clean, aesthetically clean. Her lines were amazing. And then through following her work, I found out about this other Australian photographer called Jonas Peterson.
Okay.
I kind of liked the way he tells stories and stuff like that. So from him, and then I started following his work, and then from there, and then after that I realized, okay, wait a minute. The funny thing is, once you start looking at all these photographers, you tend to pick up pieces from them, and then you tend to lose your identity. So then for a while I was following them, and I'm like, now I just completely stopped, and I'm like more of like trying to figure out who I am and starting to put out work that when people see, they're like, okay, this
they
is
know
Vinoth.
it's you lah.
They know that's the goal lah.
Was it tough though? Like, I mean, I think it's quite tough, right? Even for a photographer to have your own certain sort of aesthetic.
Yeah, it is. It is.
How long did it take you?
Oh wow! I think I'm still figuring out actually.
Oh.
Like some people say that, like, when they see my work, they know it's my work. But to me, I'm never satisfied. Being a creative, like I said, for me, my struggles have been setting the bar up again and again and again and again. I'm never satisfied. That's my problem. I think that's one flaw that I have lah.
Well, it's not a flaw in a sense, right? If anything, it's a good thing, right? Because I mean, it's a very, at least today, it's damn competitive, right?
Yeah.
Right, it's super competitive. There's so many photographers that is like, or at least good enough to go and take jobs, right? So I mean, having to set a bar, that is usually a good thing, right? Like,
Yeah, it is, but that also means that you are never happy lah. You get what I mean? Like you're never
No content.
You're not content lah. But don't get me wrong. Like today, when I shoot something, I'll be like, yes. I'm like, yes. But tomorrow, I'm like, I've started thinking. So it's a I don't know how to say. In fact, I kind of did. I did a personal project that just got exhibited.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. He told me about it.
So that's actually one of the reasons why we wanted to have you today. Like, it's called the Pictures of Life exhibition.
Yeah, Pictures
right?
of Life exhibition. It's curated by a friend of mine, Morgan, and so what he did was he got me. He said, "Vinoth, I want to put your photos on the wall, but I don't want to put your wedding photos. I want to put your non-wedding photos." So then he asked me to lay all the photos on the table. So I just showed him everything, kind of printed and showed him everything, and then he was like, "Why are the mountains like almost everywhere? I shoot street and I shoot landscape on the side, like that's and by I combine both into my wedding photography, you know. So I've got this thing where I like to shoot streets, I've got a thing where I like to shoot landscape, and then Morgan looked at it and he's like, a lot of mountains, and like, why mountains? I'm like, I don't know, mountains are. I like mountains. Then he started peeling my layers one by one, and then I realized that whenever I'm standing in front of mountains, I feel calm and peace, and I don't have this issue of I don't think about anything. Right, I'm just free and easy. So he said, let's just narrate that bit of yours. Let's just narrate what's this, and then hence why we came out with a body of work called In Solitude in Mountains for that exhibition, which talks about how I struggle with myself setting the bar up every single time and finding and coming out of it slowly. So yeah.
But I think it's a good thing to feel uncomfortable. I mean,
it is to a certain extent lah. Like bro, don't get me wrong, but how much can you tweak in photography?
that's true.
Yeah.
No, but maybe in a sense, I think it's you're a perfectionist lah, right? It's just really one of those things that you, even if it looks good to you, it's just gonna be like, I still feel like it's not good enough.
Yeah.
No matter what, even if I tell you it's good. I mean, it's a very common thing with perfectionists. Even for me as well. I think if people tell me it's okay, I'll be like, internally I still feel like, actually, I don't know, I feel like I can do better lah, you know.
Correct. And that is something that I'm telling myself to start to accept, like accept.
Yeah, I think it's really learning how to manage
Correct.
this sort of thing and just manifesting it into something good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
So, the back to the exhibition.
Yep.
Are most of the pictures from the trip to the US recently?
Oh, so about 5 out of 12 photos.
Okay.
Yeah, cause there's this one photo that technically started this whole series. This is one photo. I don't know if you remember the one with the tree.
Tree in the middle.
Yeah, the tree in the middle. That one was really
fog.
strong because that tree. There's the backstory to it. Is as I was walking in the park, I looked at the tree, and I was like, whoa. I connected to the tree. I felt like that tree was me.
Okay.
Seriously, I felt like the
This
tree was me.
was Yosemite Park, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I felt like the tree was me. And then at the background, there was this mountain with fog, this mysterious mountain with a fog there. And it felt like that mountain was the bar that I'm setting every single time, you know? And then, but the thing is, I just took a photo. I just took that photo. I looked at it. I'm like, hey, it's a beautiful photo, right? I was like, wow. and then I started analyzing the philosophical side of it. You see, a man is judged based on his problems, or maybe, how do I put it? Like a man is, you define a man based on his issues, that his struggles and how he overcome that, right? So that photo somehow resembled that for me.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
so how's Yosemite Park? Was it nice?
Oh my god!
I only saw,
bro.
so I only know of the park when I had a Mac. So they had one of the OS. They had a Yosemite.
Correct.
Yeah, they had a
Correct.
picture lah. So like, oh, it looks good lah.
Correct. So like you, I was the same.
Yep.
Right. And then I'm like, okay, we heard of this name, Yosemite. Then I told Kim, you know what, we have to go there. Kim was like, hey, wait, how can we go there? You know, it's winter and it's going to be real cold. We have to put chains and all to drive. And I told her, look, let's do it. I think we'll regret if we don't.
Yeah.
Right. So we went up there. Oh my god! At this place called Tunnel View. All right, it's an effortless place to go to. You just drive, park your car aside, come out, and you just check it out. Bro, I stood there and I had tears in my eyes. Literally the most beautiful thing that I've seen till date.
Wow.
Literally, like, and you feel like, how do I put it? Like, this is how beautiful Earth is. You know, you don't see buildings, nothing.
Yep.
It's just quiet, peace, and then just you and those mountains and that El Capitan.
El Capitan.
Right?
Yes.
El Capitan is I think it's like a mountain there in that view. So you see all that, and I'm like, out of words, man.
So you were there for holiday lah.
Yeah, that was holiday. That was literally after my burnout last year. Like, I was just burning out. Like, I was doing a lot of work towards the end of the year. Then I needed a break. Like, and then we went there and it's all full refreshed. This year, I feel energized, man. I think all creatives needs to do that. Just
Yeah, man. Once a while, just get
once
out.
a while, just stop working and then just.
But you were telling me like throughout the trip you all drove a lot, right? Like,
Yeah, man.
It was long, super
We-
long distance.
Yeah, I think we did about, I don't know, close to 3,000 miles.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you rented a car and just drove lah.
Yeah, man.
Got
What car
the
do you rent?
Mustang.
No. So the Mustang for just one day, like, you know, you needed
So you
to feel.
did. So you did it lah.
I did it, bro, with a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
I look like what, Lil Nas.
No,
Yeah.
a lot of people say you look like Kevin Hart.
Idiots.
Oh,
So,
but man.
Right. Okay. Before we go into TikTok,
Do we need to go there?
just now Yim brought up point like there are a lot of people doing wedding photography and engagement photography and all that. How is that industry right now, that landscape as a photographer, since you started and now, has it become more challenging
Yeah.
in terms of
It
getting
is.
jobs and
It is competitive. There's a lot of people coming up every other day, doing good work, but again, this is where I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but this is where your brand value comes into play. Whether you deliver, whether why are they hiring VRP or are they hiring VRP for the photos? You know, most of the times, in all honesty, like photos, like I told him just now, like, you can't tweak much. It goes back to me. It really goes back to the personal value lah. So I'm quite lucky. Like a lot of people come back to me because of who I am. And fun fact, my boss once, when I was doing my internship, he pulled me to the side. He looked at me, stared in the eye. He's like, Vinoth, you've got a bloody low IQ, but your EQ is very high. And then I stared at him like, what's EQ? That proved 2 points, right? Yeah. So from there, so I'm kind of like making use of that EQ side of me.
Okay. So, TikTok.
Yeah, man. So, because before the podcast, we talked a bit about TikTok, lah, right? So, what is like TikTok to you? Do you think that's gonna be the next wave of thing that's gonna take over Instagram, or you think it's gonna like?
I think based on what we had a discussion we had, you asked me if I want to go into videos or not. I want to go into videos. It's just that right now I don't have the time. But I'm looking at TikTok and I'm like, wait a minute, this thing is so easy. All the editing tools are there, and all I need to do is just take 10 minutes, sit down, come up with some content and put it up there. And I really feel like moving forward with, let's just look at the telco side of things, like 5G is coming up, you know, speeds, internet speeds going to get higher, and people are going to consume more videos.
Yep.
Yeah, people are going to start consuming more videos. And 15-second videos, guys, like, how often, I mean, most of us just, if you're just scrolling through Instagram right now, we also spend time just looking at Instagram stories.
Yep.
Just letting it fly.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, I personally feel like TikTok might be the new thing.
I mean, it is like showing a lot of signs of promise already now, right? Even
Correct.
for create. I mean, because I think the difference between Instagram and TikTok is TikTok, they are focusing mainly on creating.
Correct.
So they actually, like you said, you had 0 followers.
Correct. Oh yeah, so I had 0 followers. I put up this video of me in a cowboy hat walking into Antelope Canyon. It's a bad shape video, and even then there was 30 views.
Yeah.
Like 30 people actually spent time viewing that. I'm like, wow.
We need to find this video.
Yeah, it's
Nah,
there,
probably
it's
find
there.
it. Just put it.
Put it in the.
It's there. I'll send you a link.
Okay.
So it's quite interesting how the algorithm compared to like Instagram, right? Instagram right now is like really, it's hard for people to make it big unless you have like a crazy viral thing. Whereas TikTok, it's like, you don't, the more you just keep creating lah.
Yeah.
They always try to feature you in any way they can. Like you say, you just put a random video, 0
Correct.
followers, and you get views.
Correct.
So I think Instagram has lost
Yeah,
that
I
value
think
already.
it's like every social media platform.
Yeah.
When
Correct.
it's starting out, that's when you capitalize on it. That's when you get the most traction.
Yeah.
Correct.
Eventually, I think TikTok will reach that level where Instagram is as well.
No, definitely, definitely.
So, but from a photographer's perspective, does something like TikTok help you guys in getting your work out there?
It will be in terms of getting my work out there, I'm not sure, but I thought of using that platform to, I don't know, just maybe help other photographers out, like giving them tips and tricks and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought of using it that way. I don't know, I mean, or maybe just perhaps you remember I told you guys about my slideshow, maybe putting it on that platform as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So yeah, and then I don't know. I'm looking into making some videos as well. So let's see.
Cool.
See. I did you watch that video of that Malaysian game that I did? That
Malaysian game.
Yeah, I went for this Malaysian game. I can't remember, against Indonesia, I think.
For football.
Football.
Oh no, I haven't watched that. No.
Yeah, it's like an Insta story that I did for like 30 seconds, I think.
Okay.
That got good traction. They were like, Vinoth, you should do videos. And then I'm like, I'm probably going to use that as an inspiration to do other videos lah. Short videos. Let's see.
But what was the video about? Just the football game in it.
It was about how and what I felt going to that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
Oh, it was powerful.
Where was that? That was here or that was
It was
in-
here. It was here. And then we sat close to Ultras Malaysia.
Oh right, yeah.
Okay.
Ultras, man. Those guys are crazy.
Dude, those guys are Malaysians, dude. And oh my
Have you
God.
seen? I went to the UAE against Malaysia.
Huh.
So it was my first football game lah, like the Malaysia's football game lah. It was like when they're winning, right? Everybody is like, I'm all about Malaysia lah. When they like fuck up a goal or like they concede, everybody just like turn on the fan. Malaysians will turn on Malaysia straight away,
Yeah, but the Ultras?
Ultras they are.
Oh, did you know that they did not stop singing for a good old 90 minutes?
Yeah, well, they're the whole time they were playing the drums, they were singing.
Yeah, oh
chanting.
my God, that energy, bro. I wish I can tapao some lah.
But they also travel around. Even when they go overseas, so I think they'll follow one.
Yeah.
Like go Thailand, they'll go Indon, they'll go.
Correct. I need to Google how to join the Ultras. and see.
I think it's quite easy one. There should be a fan club or something.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Let's Google it lah.
Yeah. I have a friend who's in there. She's always traveling with the
Oh,
group.
for real?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Crazy, man. It's the guy, one of the guys in Big Brothers. We train jiu-jitsu one lah. Then I see him in a lot of pictures with the
okay.
Ultras one. He'll travel and he'll go and tour with them, sing songs.
Che.
But it's good. I mean, it's good to see that there's a thing like that for Malaysia's football lah.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
honestly, I didn't know how big it was until I went to the game. Now I was like, okay, it's quite crazy.
Correct. I didn't know until that day. Like I was sitting like literally next to. I think yes, this is Malaysia versus Indonesia that we beat them 2-0. I think. Yeah, this is the one.
Yes,
And
quite reason lah.
yes,
right?
very recent.
Very
And to see these Ultras going.
And the song is pretty good, man.
Yeah, man.
Pretty catchy, right?
And now I don't remember lah.
I don't remember, but I know it's catchy lah. I know it's
very,
catchy lah.
very, very, very.
Okay, so this is the question that I usually ask most photographers. What's
Oh
your
my
favorite gear?
What's my favorite?
What are you using now?
Oh,
What
I'm
are you
using
now?
a Fuji film.
Fujifilm.
Fujifilm X-T3. I've got 2 of those, and couple with some lenses lah.
So why you choose Fujifilm? Okay, so this is the.
I thought you've always been a Canon.
No,
guy.
Nikon.
Nikon guy. Sorry, yeah.
So what happened to like using Fuji? Because Fuji, like, as far as for photographers, the tech side lah, right? They usually say like Fujifilm's frame is very small.
Oh yeah, this
right, the
APS-C.
So
the
Canon is the biggest, right?
full frame.
Full frame.
Not the biggest. So they've got crop sensor, medium form, medium. Wait, crop sensor, full frame, and medium format.
Yep.
So medium format is slightly bigger. So I was shooting full frame with Nikon, and then I realized Nikon's coming up with a mirrorless system. So I waited for that. And then when I got my hands on the new Z6, I think, I realized it's still heavy. Because at weddings, I walk around with 2 cameras
With
and
the harness,
with the
right?
harness, I literally look like a cowboy.
I know. Actually, a lot of photographers they're wearing the harness nowadays.
Yeah, it's easy. Like, it takes off the pain from the back, but you get a bit of the pain on the shoulders.
Yeah.
So then, so I tested it out. I realized it's still heavy, and then I got to try the Fujifilm, and I'm like, whoa.
It's a light camera.
It looks like a toy camera.
Yeah, it looks
bro.
like a toy camera.
Yeah. And also the fact that now it looks like a toy camera. Like, people don't go. They don't get scared per se. Like oh, photographers here, isn't that? They don't see it as a threat.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like something.
Yeah, because it's not a big gun one. It's like
correct,
pretty small.
correct. And this is what I see nowadays. Like, last time I would go and ask photographers like, hey, what camera are you using? And then they would tell me this and this and that. And I'm like, okay, cool. I want to get that camera. I'll probably get a result. Then I realized cameras don't matter, because cameras are like how a hammer is to a carpenter. A camera is also the same to the photographer. So it doesn't really matter, because end of the day you're gonna come up with the same table or chair or same photos lah.
So you agree that it's not so much. I mean, the gear plays a part lah.
It does.
But still not as much as the person that is using it.
Correct. Yeah, the aesthetics of it, the feels of it, the composition, all that. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter. And for me, it's the weight, bro.
Weight lah. I mean, if you're shooting long hours, it definitely matters.
Yeah, man, it's the weight.
Yeah, actually that's true. That day I was shooting at for 12 hours from 9 to 9 lah. Just shooting videos only, and I was holding an A7 II for the whole day, bro. For the whole day. After 5 hours, then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit down for a while.
So there was this one wedding where we shot for close to, I don't know, I think it might be 18 hours lah.
Damn.
Right? Towards the end of it, my fingers literally couldn't function anymore.
18 hours or what wedding
almost
is this?
It's a destination wedding shot here in KL.
Destination wedding.
Yeah, so they flew in from overseas.
Oh.
They came in here and to save up time, they did everything within that day.
Damn, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was
18 hours is no joke.
It's no joke, bro. It's no joke. It's crazy. So it went on, and then there was 5 hours shooting, 2 photographers and 3 videographers. Both me and my second shooter, Najib, we were on the floor. We couldn't shoot. And then the videographers were like, and yeah, everyone was tired. Even the couple, when they were dancing their first dance, they were like, let's be done with this.
So that's your longest shoot that you have ever done?
That's the longest lah.
Damn, man, 18 hours is long.
It's long, bro. It's long.
What was it? Was it
I
fun?
mean, obviously there's a break in between, for your lunch and dinner and stuff like that, but it's continuous.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Damn.
Interesting. So you've pretty much got the wedding and that photography part down right now, I would say, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, I know you've done other projects outside of wedding. You've done some almost CSR kind of stuff, and I think that time when we worked with Kartini, is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how much of that do you do, or do you make it a point to do work that, I guess that work is considered for you lah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much of that do you have a goal every year you want to do a few projects like that, or it just comes and you just do it, or?
So it's I don't have a set goal, but it's more of how, if that story, if I can connect to the story of it touches me, or if the world needs to know, then I go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Like the one with Kartini with the cancer patient.
Yep,
Yeah,
correct.
she brought up a lot of and she's full of joy and energy.
Mm.
And then last year it was with Linda. Linda was suffering from some, I can't remember the exact term, but some myopathy, so her muscles are giving away slowly.
Mm-hmm.
So that one was, that was really touching, man.
Okay,
That
so
was-
this is really using pictures to tell their story and create awareness.
Yep.
Right.
Pictures, yeah.
So how do these people, you know them already or
No, so
through word of mouth?
So this was all they like for the first one. Kartini approached me, and then the second one, this makeup artist Vidya, she came
Okay.
to me and she was like telling me, she told me all this, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it. Honestly, bro, like wedding photographers, we have no time besides editing. Yeah, that's it. There's a stat that came out that apparently wedding photographers only shoot 4% of their time.
Then
The rest is the other things, the editing, the marketing, the blogging, the Instagramming, the sending out invoices and stuff like that.
So in a way, doing stuff like this is what kind of satisfaction does it give you versus shooting weddings?
So it doing things like this kinds of like keeps me alive creatively lah. And it's like like I said, like shoots like this, it's fulfilling after. At first I'll look at my schedule, I'm like, oh my god, my schedule is crazy.
Yeah.
Can I do this? But after shooting, I'm like, oh my god, thank god I did this. Sometimes I feel refreshed. So yeah.
I mean, it's to keep you from burning out.
Yes.
From just doing the same thing as well.
Correct.
And a way to give back also, right?
But yes, I've always thought that lah. So there's one giveaway that's quite interesting that we're doing with this planners called Velvet Vows. So we wanted to do a style shoot.
Okay.
All right. And style shoot means like, you know, you prepare like a nice setup, and then you get some models to stand there, and then you take some shots, and then they'll be part of my portfolio and also part of Velvet Vows' portfolio. Then I told them, like, look guys, it looks nice, but it lacks a story. Like, why do this? So what we did was we've like came up with a giveaway where we're going to do this shoot, but we're going to get real couples in. So we got this contest out, and we've got some entries now.
Yeah, that's the one going on
That's
now.
the one going now. So probably by this Friday we'll reveal the results lah.
Nice.
So is VRP going to stick to wedding photography, or are you planning to try different?
Good question, bro. I don't know. I mean, even now after shooting like weddings, I get really tired. Like age catches up, lah, right? So I don't know if I can do this at 40, 45.
Yeah.
So I have always thought of an exit plan, and I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah, we
So I
had a
don't know.
brief
Yeah,
conversation about this.
Yeah,
and
so I'm still thinking like,
Are
what
you just
else?
on your own now? Like you're alone, or
Yeah, I am alone. Only recently have I got in an intern to help me out with my editing, and I also have a so-called protege that I'm.
wow.
No,
Protege.
I got him in, and I wanted to teach him and replicate what I know,
yeah,
because I think that's also a way
will
of
help you lah.
It not only helped me, it's also a way of giving back and
Also making sure your legacy, you have a legacy, you leave behind a...
correct. I leave behind something lah,
Yeah.
you know. And I told him this like, look, I'm bringing you in, I'm teaching you all this. Make sure you do the same.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I have. in
Pass
my-
it.
Yeah, pass it on. Like you
That's
know?
good, man.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
You can pass some to me also. I don't mind.
It can, bro.
I
Can.
really don't mind.
Can.
Okay.
So
Anything else?
you know, being like obviously your family pressured you into doing engineering.
Yeah.
So after you step out of that, what was that?
Oh,
what was the
conversation?
Oh, yeah, actually.
The conversation. Oh
Con-
my
the
god.
conversation.
Okay,
Papa and
so
Amma.
no.
So what happened to that?
So with that, it was very easy lah. I went to him. I'm like, I said, Daddy, I'm quitting. I'm gonna do this. He looked at me. He's like, fine. You did what I had. You did what I asked you to do for me. And I've seen. I mean, they know that I was never happy with work.
Yeah.
Like, and he said like, I think you should do it. Right. Then mom. This is the part. So I went and spoke to mom, and mom's like, oh my god, Then what do I tell our aunties? Your aunties. What do I tell the uncles?
Shout out Indian moms lah.
Yeah, and she was like, my friend, my son used to be an engineer. What do I tell them now? He's a photographer. I said, Mom, yeah, just tell them that, but give me some time lah. After this, you'll be saying it with a smile. I said. So yeah,
that's good, man.
That's a strong sentence.
So now she proud of you now? Like she flexing to her friends? My son is a famous photographer.
Oh, full on, bro. Full on. So thanks to that top 50 engagement photos thing, I appeared on the Tamil
on Astro
Tamil channel on a Tamil channel, and my mom speaks Tamil mostly, right? So I told her like, look, I'm gonna appear here. She was like, okay, tell me what time. I'll be ready.
She tell her friends.
Yeah, she tell her friends and this and that. She was in fact ready one day before.
Oh damn.
She was like, aren't you supposed to go live now? I said, Mom, that's tomorrow. So yeah, and yeah, putting smiles on them really matters lah. Like yeah.
So like, okay, so I'm fairly new into this whole videography thing, right? So if let's say I really want to improve.
Okay.
So now I'm just my I don't know how you do it lah, but my way of learning is mostly like, I learn from these guys. I'll go on YouTube. So what if you were to learn, like when you started lah? So what was your learning tools?
YouTube, bro. YouTube. So I'll go to class. In uni, go to class, sit down in class, learn nothing, come back, and then go on YouTube and learn something.
So you were already into photography very early lah.
Yeah. So I think I got my first camera in 2003.
What was the camera?
Canon XS.
I've never
Point
heard
and
of
That
it.
was super
Point, it was a digital
back then,
camera.
man.
Yeah. It's a small silver color camera.
Yeah.
Everyone would have heard of
Almost
it.
squarish.
Yeah, almost squarish. That was.
It was everywhere, man. The
Correct.
ads.
Correct.
And so recently I asked a lot of photographers lah, like, cause I want to. The gear I'm using now is the office gear lah, so I actually want to like, cause I didn't really learn it properly. Cause I'm just like watching them do it, and then most of the time I just like I pick a bit here and there. So I wanted to get my own camera. So I asked a lot of people like, what is a good beginner's camera that can shoot pictures and videos. Everybody tell me a lot of things lah, but at the end of the day I feel like, should I invest in something more expensive so that it will last me longer, or should I just invest in something entry level? But my concern is more like value for money lah. If I pay like 2.5 for this camera, but it need last me like 3 years, because eventually cameras are progressing damn fast now as well.
Yeah. I'd say spend money on your phone.
Phone?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you see, I believe that if you want to shoot something and you really want to take photos and take videos, you should start with your phone, because the phone is when you always have it on you every single time.
Yep.
Right? And that's what I started doing too. Like I bought some additional adapters for my phone, stabilizers and stuff like to see.
Oh shit.
Yeah, to see if I actually will record when I go.
Okay.
I will not. Will I carry an extra gear? Because for me, I carry cameras for work every single time, so I want to minimize my stuff. Right. So I got this smallest of things, and our phones, like iPhone 7 itself, it's good enough. You want to get your wide shot, you have it. But if you want to get a zoom shot, you probably just need to buy that lens adapter, put it down, and then you got your zoom shot, macro shots, all that. So yeah, I'd say like you're already carrying a good device with you. Use that first to see whether you want to progress.
Yeah. So interesting enough that you said that, because when I asked you what camera to use, right, you said use the phone first. So at least the successful, I don't know what success is, but the famous photographers or the successful photographers, a lot of them also start with the phone first. Yeah. Before even getting into the big stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, personally for me, when I look at the phone and I take picture with the camera and the phone, right, I see a very big difference. For me lah. Like, because, with the camera, you can do like the bokeh stuff. I mean, with the iPhone, it's good, but if low light, it's like quite rubbish.
Yeah lah, but you see, even with other cameras also, with low light is rubbish. You just need to have additional lights, and you need to know your lights. And once you know all that, then you'll be like, whoa, my phone is good.
So did you really dig deep into the technical side of the cameras and photography? Yeah, a bit.
Like I do go a bit lah. I mean, I see whether if I can record 4K. If my my iPhone can capture raw photos, which it can. Yeah, it can. So you technically can do stuff like that, and then later on manipulate it. So yeah, I really feel like once you're confident enough that, look, I think it's time for me to up my game, then yes. But you also need to understand, like, why do you need different lenses?
Yep.
Why you need that? How are you going to tell a story with those type of lenses? Why do you need a background compression or not? Like things like that. If you don't know anything like that, no point you spending X amount of money. If you have limited amount of money, you're going to spend that much of money. You already have your phone video. Or sometimes you'll be like, should I get a phone first or should I get a camera first? I'll say go for the phone first. Like, yeah. So yeah, that's my take on it lah. Like because when I travel nowadays, like it's my phone and my camera. One just a simple lens. That's it.
So that was the one you used in US.
Yeah.
So
Like
it wasn't like a big setup. Right?
No, man.
Just
Nowadays, I love traveling light.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
Because he was talking about lighting, and one of the unique things about your work is you basically use a lot of natural light, and I like how you also use shadows, not in the way of just using the shadow, but the shape of the shadow, the lines that the shadows create.
Correct.
So how, like, I mean, to a normal person, right, if I was at the shoot, I probably would miss those lines, like, but for you, it just seems to come very naturally. How do you get to that stage? Like,
So I started looking out for lights, looking out for types of lights. Like since I'm limited, I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. I don't know how to use a flash. I'm still learning. Alright. So what I'm been doing is, since I'm limited in that sense, I started hunting for lights. My eyes is always constantly looking for lights, and through that I started seeing shapes. And from there, like you said, like I won't call it the shadow bit, like I'll call it the light bit. Light comes out that way and it creates that shadow.
Okay.
So that's how I see it.
Nice.
nice.
Okay, so one last question. So film cameras are making a comeback
Okay.
for some weird reason.
Yeah.
Everything that's old is making a comeback lah.
Yeah.
So what do you think of, film cameras? Have you ever attempted to shoot in film cameras?
Yeah, I do have one at home.
Fun?
It's amazing, but I have this thing where, oh my god, film. What if I screw it up? What if I fuck it up? Like, oh shit. Yeah, but yeah, I do carry one, and what I would take back from there is the aesthetics of it. Like, you can't change aesthetics of film. It's just, it has.
You don't
that
really have to
nostalgic-
edit much really.
You don't have to edit. It has the nostalgic
Yeah.
feeling. So that, and yeah, you're right. Like everything is going back to the old school ways because people cannot innovate already.
That's true. There's that.
We are
also.
running out of ideas,
Yeah.
and that's why we are going back. Okay, let's go back there, and then let's change things a bit to make it look hip and happening. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember reading last year, like, how the future phones are going to just make cameras obsolete in some sense also.
It is, bro.
Yeah, it slowly is one.
It
Right.
slowly is.
Now you have
It
like
slowly
3
is.
cameras, then you
yeah,
got
like
4.
the Samsung 20
Yeah.
Ultra.
100
Yeah, yeah,
megapixel, bro. It's
No, like there's this one director who directed this whole
with the iPhone.
On an iPhone, right? A
And
horror
China
show,
one,
right?
No,
China
the
one.
China one.
The
Oh,
China,
that's
Chinese New Year one.
Chinese
The Chinese
New
New
Year.
Year.
Every year they use the iPhone to shoot one.
Oh,
Good
okay.
lord, it's
damn good, right?
amazing, bro. And you see, like you can achieve things like that on.
Yeah, that's the crazy part, Like even Shafiq Saleh, so he's like an ambassador for Samsung. So he went to India. So he shot most of the videos he shot there is with the Samsung.
Wow.
Yeah, so because when I look at my phone, when I take videos with my phone, I just feel like it's fucking rubbish. It's shit, Like, but I look at the camera and I'm like, wow, so different. But for him, when I see him do it, I was like, if you tell me it's with the camera, I'll be like, I totally believe you.
Yeah.
But then I found that he put in the caption, it's like, it's all shot with my Samsung. So he showed like the raw footage itself, and then he showed the post.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, man, the magic you can do with post-production is
Yeah,
insane,
man.
bro.
Yeah.
Can you make a phone look like as if it's shot with DSLR?
So like the editing apps like Lightroom and all, it's becoming more powerful on your mobile device and on the go. Like in fact lately I've been editing some photos of my personal works on my iPad, and I'm satisfied with it. So on the go, everything's happening on the go now. So yeah,
Man.
that's why I said phone's the way to go, guys.
So there you have it. We had VRP here today with us.
Hey,
So
guys.
before we sign up, before we close the show,
Yep.
plug all your channels, plug all your platforms.
What's
for
coming up
yeah,
next?
what's coming up next?
What's coming up next? I don't know, but yeah, follow me on Instagram at the real VRP Vinoth Raj Pillai, and then I'm on
Facebook.
Vinoth Raj Pillai photographer, and I've got a website www.vinotrajpillai.com, and I'm also on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. What is your TikTok
What's
handle?
the TikTok handle?
At the real VRP.
Oh, at the real VRP. Nice.
It's like I'm shy to say it, but yes, I
It's
am.
almost as if there's a fake VRP out there somewhere.
No, but for real though, I actually just downloaded TikTok. I'm still like, I haven't opened it yet.
Yeah.
Still contemplating.
Everyone's just judgy, but
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm constantly judging all these people.
Actually, I also just downloaded it a couple of weeks ago.
so I told I've got this amazing dancer friends, right?
Ah.
They dance real well, this and that. Then I just went up to them, hey guys, I got TikTok. They judged me.
Well, I thought dancers are very big on
Yeah,
TikTok. Right?
dancers
Yeah,
love
they
TikTok.
judge me.
It's like the bread, man.
A friend of mine, Divya, she judged me.
Shout out Divya.
yeah. She judged me. She looked at me. She gave me like.
You're on the right side, Divya.
Yeah.
So judging everyone.
So yeah, and then I showed her like what I could do with the video editing
Yeah.
skills and stuff like that.
It's
bro,
easy.
It's
to
easy. Like
use.
you can put on songs and stuff like which you can't do with Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I mean, we don't have Instagram music yet. So
Yep.
So yes.
So far, hey, I don't know why you don't have it.
Actually, yeah, I
Divya.
don't know.
It's
Until
only
now,
overseas,
like,
right? Yeah. Yeah, man.
Doesn't
Anyway,
make sense.
that's it for today for Cool Story, bro.
Yep.
We had the real VRP.
Thanks to VRP
Vinoth.
for coming
Thank you
in.
for
man.
having me, guys.
Yeah, man. So what was your experience like? Good?
Wait, I'm still posing.
Oh,
It was good. It was good.
Bye-bye.
cool.